Welcome to Artificially Literate, the place where books, films, and ideas spark, real thought and curiosity.
Absolutely. Each time we take something, a book, maybe a film, sometimes just a cultural moment, and we really try to get under the surface.
Yeah, looking at what it means philosophically, literally, all of it. So if you love stories, if you're always searching for meaning, or maybe you just enjoy a good takeaway thought.
Then this is definitely your space, a chance to reflect, maybe learn something, and see things a little differently.
So today, we are plunging into a world brimming with magic, deep mystery, and a whole lot of mistaken identity. We're delving into one of the most, I think, pivotal books in a truly iconic series.
It really is a fan favorite, and for good reason. Sets up so much.
Definitely. We're going to kick things off with a passage that honestly always makes me chuckle. It's from the book that's captivated millions. Just picture this. Non-magic people, more commonly known as muggles, were particularly afraid of magic in medieval times and not very good at recognizing it. On the rare occasion that they did catch a real witch or wizard, burning had no effect whatsoever. The witch or wizard would perform a basic flame-freezing charm and then pretend to shriek with pain while enjoying a gentle tickling sensation. Indeed, Wendelin the Weird enjoyed being burned so much that she allowed herself to be caught no less than 47 times in various disguises.
Ha! Wendell in the Weird. It's such a perfect little snapshot, isn't it?
It really is. And that, of course, is from Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, the third book in J.K. Rowling's legendary series. That passage, it just sets such a unique tone right away.
It really does. It's not just fluff.
No, not at all. And today, we're not just going to, recap the plot. We're doing a proper deep dive into these pages. We want to explore the philosophical side, the literal meanings, unpack these complex characters.
Look at those really pivotal plot points, the moments that make this book stand out.
Exactly. And our mission for this deep dive, we really want to highlight what the book offers that maybe goes beyond the film adaptation, which is great, but different.
And pull out some insights on themes like fear, which is huge in this book, the nature of justice, which gets really complicated.
And friendship.
Oh,
The power of friendship, often in really surprising ways. It's
yeah.
going to be quite a journey, so let's unpack this.
That Wendelin, the weird quote you started with, it's more than just funny. It's actually, I think, a masterstroke in setting the stage thematically.
So,
Well, Rowling immediately throws this idea at you. Perception versus reality. You've got the muggles thinking they're spotting magic, thinking they're in control, burning witches, but they're completely clueless.
they can't even recognize the real thing.
Exactly. And this sort of early humorous example, it primes us, almost subconsciously, for the much bigger deception and misunderstanding that's going to unfold around Sirius Black later.
Okay, so it makes you question appearances right from the start.
Precisely. It makes you think, how easily can fears or even, historical stories be twisted or just plain wrong? How often do we, like those muggles, just dismiss or misinterpret things we don't get, especially when fear is involved? It's kind of the lens the book wants us to use.
I totally see that. It signals straight away this isn't just a simple good versus evil story. There are shades of gray, hidden truths. And right from page 1, we're reminded Harry Potter is definitely not living a normal kid's life.
No kidding.
We find him, it's almost midnight, he's under the blankets with a flashlight, secretly doing homework. He actively hates the summer holidays.
Which is so backwards for most kids.
Right, because it means being stuck with the Dursleys, just suffocating under their total denial of who he actually is.
And he's working on an essay for Snape, of all people, his least favorite teacher.
Yep. Witch burning in the 14th century was completely pointless discuss, and the irony is the Dursleys are basically living embodiments of that medieval attitude towards magic he's writing about.
Trying to stamp it out of him, locking everything away, spellbooks, wand, cauldron, broomstick, forbid him from even talking about it.
But Harry, he's always resourceful. He manages to pick the lock on the cupboard under the stairs to get his books back. What does this immediate dive into Harry's summer tell us about him at this point, beyond just, being a wizard?
Well, it hammers home his feeling of being an outsider, his otherness, but also you see his resilience starting to really show. Hating summer isn't just boredom, it's like a visceral rejection of this world that denies who he is.
That isolation is key, isn't it?
Absolutely. It sets the stage for the deeper emotional stuff he faces later. And Snape's essay topic, it seems academic, but it's brilliant foreshadowing. It forces Harry to think about historical muggle-wizard relations, which kind of prepares him for the big story about misunderstanding and prejudice with Sirius Black.
Interesting connection. Like, people can be totally wrong about magic.
and by extension about people, magical or otherwise. And him picking that lock, it's a small thing, but it's an act of rebellion. It shows he's determined to hold on to his identity, his connection to the wizarding world, no matter what.
Then his 13th birthday rolls around. And predictably, the Dursleys completely ignore it. It's such a small detail, but so painful. Really underscores his isolation at home.
Just brutal emotional neglect.
But then the owls arrive. Gifts from his friends. And these aren't just presents, are they? They feel like lifelines, like a sudden burst of magic and connection pulling him back from the edge.
They really are. They tether him to the world where he belongs.
Ron sends him a pocket sneakoscope. It's supposed to light up around untrustworthy people, but Ron says it's unreliable. Kept going off at dinner because Fred and George put beetles in Bill's soup.
Classic Weasley chaos.
Right. It's played for laughs, but thinking back, it's actually pretty subtle foreshadowing, isn't it? This funny little gadget plants a seed about who might be untrustworthy later on.
Oh, definitely. It's more than just a gag. The sneakoscope, being unreliable, it subtly introduces this idea that appearances can fool you, that trustworthiness isn't always obvious.
Hey, like, don't just trust what you see on the surface.
Exactly. It fixed the whole theme of the book. How do you figure out who's really who in a world full of illusions and secrets? That sneakoscope isn't just about beetle detection, it's priming us to be a bit skeptical.
And Hermione, well, she's pure Hermione. Her gift is perfect for her. A sleek, black leather broomstick servicing kit.
Of course it is, with polish and clippers and everything.
Fleetwood's high-finish handle polish, tail twig clippers, a tiny brass compass, handbook of do-it-yourself broom care, the works. It's practical, but really thoughtful. Shows how meticulous she is and how much she cares about Harry's passion for Quidditch.
It's her way of showing support, isn't it? Very different from Ron's more chaotic friendship, but just as genuine. Her gift is about preparedness, precision. It's as much about her personality as Harry's needs.
Her letter also casually drops that Percy's become head boy. Ron, predictably, is not thrilled.
Huh. Yeah, that little detail adds that layer of Weasley family dynamics. Ron's typical sibling rivalry grounds the magic and relatable stuff.
And then there's Hagrid's gift, the Monster Book of Monsters.
Oh, that book literally bites.
Exactly. And Hagrid, in his usual endearing but slightly alarming way, just says it'll be useful for next year. It's such a perfect Hagrid moment, funny, quirky, and a hint of danger.
Totally sets up his teaching style, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yeah, the Monster Book of Monsters is classic Rowling world building. Even the textbooks have personalities, often difficult ones. It gives you that sense of magical unpredictability and hints that Hagrid's lessons might be hands-on and maybe a bit dangerous.
A bit of foreshadowing that learning isn't always easy or safe this year.
Exactly. Danger and unexpected lessons are definitely coming.
But that brief moment of magical connection shatters when Aunt Marge arrives for a visit.
Ugh, Aunt Marge.
She's described so vividly, so unpleasantly. Large, beefy, purple-faced, even has a mustache, just like Uncle Vernon. And her personality is just cruel. She constantly insults Harry, his parents, just chipping away at him.
Relentless bullying.
The tension just builds and builds as she keeps criticizing Harry's parents, suggesting something was wrong with his mother. She actually uses the word bitch.
And that's the breaking point for Harry.
Yeah, his magic, driven purely by emotion, by loyalty, just lashes out. He accidentally inflates her, like a monstrous balloon, buttons popping, floating up to the ceiling.
It's a huge moment for him, his most serious breach of the underage magic rules so far. It's uncontrolled, yes, but it comes from this desperate need to defend his parents.
So it's accidental, but also deeply meaningful.
Absolutely. It reveals that deep well of anger and loyalty in him. This recklessness, it's a recurring thing for Harry, gets him into trouble, but also leads to these moments of, like, unplanned heroism. His emotions are as powerful as his magic. Suppressing who he is clearly has consequences.
After that, total chaos. Harry storms out, actually threatens Uncle Vernon with his wand. He's furious, but then the panic sets in. He's stranded, alone in the Muggle world, terrified he'll be expelled. No money, no way to contact anyone.
He's really hit rock bottom there, completely vulnerable.
And then, bang, the night bus appears. Out of nowhere, this crazy purple triple-decker bus just materializes on a normal suburban street. It feels like the wizarding world just swooping in to rescue him when he needs it most.
The night bus is such a brilliant invention. Magical emergency transport operating right under Muggle noses. It highlights that hidden infrastructure. And the ride itself, chaotic fast, beds sliding everywhere.
Yeah.
It's designed to throw Harry and us off balance, rips him out of the familiar, and dumps him right into the frantic pace of the magical world. It's weird, maybe a bit scary, but it's also a solution. Uniquely wizarding solution.
A crucial transition. And it's on this wild ride that Harry first sees the picture of Sirius Black. Front page of the Daily Prophet. Sunken face, matted hair. Looks terrifying.
Properly menacing image.
And Stan Shunpike, the conductor who keeps calling Harry Neville, which is hilarious, gives this alarming story. Black's supposedly Voldemort's top supporter, his second in command, blew up a street, killed a wizard, dozen muggles.
Just paints him as this mass murderer.
And Harry accidentally says Voldemort out loud, causing this huge shock on the bus. What does this first impression of Black do for the story?
It's pure misdirection, isn't it? Carefully crafted to make Black seem like this ultimate evil, based purely on headlines and gossip. It builds massive suspense and fear around him.
Setting him up as the villain.
Exactly. And the reaction to Harry saying Voldemort, it just underlines the deep-seated fear and taboo around the Dark Lord, which makes Black seem even scarier as his supposed right-hand man. The whole thing makes you question, again, like with Wendell and the Weird, how much do you trust official stories? Especially when fear is involved. Sets up the central mystery perfectly.
What an introduction to the main conflict. So Harry gets to the leaky cauldron, fully expecting to be expelled, right? For blowing up his aunt.
Yeah, he's braced for the worst. Ministry officials waiting.
But instead, he's met by Cornelius Fudge, the Minister of Magic himself. And Fudge is surprisingly lenient, almost weirdly nice about it.
Suspiciously lenient, you could say.
Definitely. Fudge is evasive. Tells Harry he needs to stay in Diagon Alley, don't go into Muggle London. It hints at something bigger going on, something Harry doesn't understand yet.
Oh, absolutely. Fudge's leniency isn't about Harry's feelings, it's pure politics. Harry's the boy who lived, a symbol. Fudge needs him safe, visible, under control in a way.
So keeping him close is strategic.
Right. The evasiveness, the restrictions. It's clear Harry's being protected, but why? That's kept hidden. This government concern, plus Dumbledore later agreeing to have Dementors at Hogwarts.
Yeah.
It creates this powerful sense of unease. The threat from Black must be huge. Makes you question the Ministry's motives.
Harry then gets 2 whole weeks, Dursley-free, in Diagon Alley. It sounds amazing.
A rare bit of freedom for him.
He hangs out at Florian Fortescue's ice cream parlor, studies there. And Florian himself knows a lot about medieval witch burnings, tying back to Snake's essay, and gives Harry free Sundays.
Best study spot ever. Free Sundays every half hour. Sign me up.
Right. And Harry refills his vault at Gringotts, fights off temptations like solid gold gobstones and this amazing moving model of the galaxy.
Yeah.
It's a moment for him to just be a wizard.
It's crucial. That time lets him experience the joy of the wizarding world without the Dursley shadow or the immediate Black threat. It's relative normalcy, pure magical immersion. And Florian Fortescue knowing about witch burnings, it's not just trivia. It reinforces that history, shows how the past and prejudice linger.
As he's getting his school supplies, he goes to Flourish and Blots. And it's chaos because they've got a delivery of the Monster Book of Monsters.
Oh yeah, the biting books again.
Hundreds of them fighting each other. Total bedlam. The manager's been bitten 5 times. Luckily, Harry already has his.
Yeah.
He also picks up his divination textbook, Unfogging the Future.
Cassandra Verblatsky sounds ominous already.
And on the cover, he sees the Grim, this giant spectral black dog, described as the worst omen of death. And Harry instantly recognizes it. He had seen a huge black dog back in Magnolia Crescent just before the night bus appeared. Deeply unsettling for him.
Classic omen. That Grim on the cover immediately creates this sense of foreboding that gets right inside Harry's head. It's not just a scary picture, it's a powerful symbol from wizarding folklore.
Plants seeds of fear, especially since he thinks he's already seen it.
Exactly. This motif of death omens runs through the first part of the book, messing with Harry's perception, fueling the tension, and of course, setting up a massive red herring about Sirius. Brilliant storytelling.
Ron and Hermione show up soon at the leaky cauldron. They talk about Aunt Marge. Ron thinks it's hilarious. Hermione's worried about expulsion, naturally.
The classic dynamic.
But what really blows Ron's mind is Hermione's class schedule. Arithmancy, care of magical creatures, divination, ancient runes, muggle studies, all overlapping with her normal classes.
Yeah, Ron's like, how are you supposed to be in 3 classes at once? You just can't compute.
It's such a clever, sustained bit of foreshadowing, isn't it? Subtly hinting at her secret all along.
Absolutely. It shows her incredible dedication, her ambition, almost obsessive learning. Ron's confusion is funny, but it also highlights how absurd her schedule seems, setting up the time turner reveal later as this extraordinary but somehow logical solution for her.
Raises questions, too, about the pressure on students, maybe.
Yeah, and the lengths she'll go to shows her resourcefulness early on.
While they're shopping, they visit the magical menagerie. Ron needs tonic for Scabbers, his rat, who's looking pretty sick.
Poor old Scabbers. Or maybe not so poor.
Right. Meanwhile, Hermione buys Crookshanks, this grumpy, bow-legged ginger cat with a squashed face. Ron hates him instantly, sees him as a threat to Scabbers. This starts that whole feud between them.
And it's not just a cat hates rat thing, is it?
No way. Crookshanks' immediate, almost instinctual hatred for Scabbers. It's more than pet rivalry. It feels like a clue.
It's a brilliant plot device. Crookshanks seems to know something's wrong with Scabbers. His relentless pursuit hints at a hidden truth, makes you question this ordinary-seeming rat right from the start. Sows suspicion without giving the game away. Animal instinct detecting true nature.
And then the stakes get terrifyingly real for Harry. He overhears Mr. and Mrs. Weasley talking quietly, and he learns the truth. Sirius Black isn't just some random escaped convict. He's believed to be hunting Harry.
That's the moment it becomes deeply personal. Gut punch for Harry.
Mr. Weasley reveals Black escaped Azkaban, and Dumbledore reluctantly agreed to have Dementors stationed at Hogwarts for protection. The whole narrative shifts from a general threat to something aimed right at him.
Yeah, the story really kicks into high gear there. And Dumbledore agreeing to the Dementors, that's significant, shows how serious the threat is, but also Dumbledore's awareness of how awful Dementors are. It foreshadows their psychological impact on Harry. It's like a necessary evil Dumbledore hates.
And just to lighten the mood, or maybe defy authority, Fred and George change Percy's head boy badge to read Big Head Boy.
Huh. Classic Fred and George. A needed bit of humor amidst the dread. Youthful defiance. Lets you breathe before the next wave of fear hits.
On the Hogwarts Express, things get properly terrifying. We meet Professor R.J. Lupin, the new Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher. Looks a bit shabby but kind, reading in the compartment.
Seems unassuming at first.
Then suddenly the train compartment goes freezing cold, dark. Dementors attack the train. Harry just reels. Everything goes icy, and he hears his mother screaming.
Not Harry, not Harry, please not Harry. Just horrifying. Deeply traumatic for him.
It's pure psychological horror. Dementors don't just make you sad. They force Harry to relive the absolute worst moment of his life. It's his deepest trauma made real.
A brilliant way to show his internal pain externally. And Lupin's reaction is key. He's calm, deals with the Dementor instantly with some unknown charm.
And gives Harry chocolate. Explains it helps counter the effects.
Right. Immediately establishes Lupin as competent, compassionate. He offers not just magical defense, but practical psychological first aid. Sets up their bond and Harry's eventual journey to overcome that fear.
And it perfectly contrasts with Malfoy later, taunting Harry for fainting. Shows Malfoy's cruelty.
Yeah, highlights that emotional immaturity that makes Malfoy so unlikable.
At Hogwarts, Dumbledore's welcome speech addresses the Dementors directly. Emphasizes they're there, warns students not to leave grounds without permission, and he specifically says Dementors are not to be fooled by tricks or disguises or even invisibility cloaks.
That's a crucial line, not just a safety rule. It challenges Harry's reliance on his cloak, underlines the unique threat of Dementors. They sense emotions, not just sight. Vital info later.
And we see Professor Snape's instant dislike for Lupin. It's palpable, foreshadows their conflict, hints at some bad blood from the past.
Oh yeah, that tension is thick. Snape's loathing isn't just professional jealousy, it feels personal, historical. Hints at old rivalries, old wounds that will definitely impact the story and Lupin's fate.
Then there's Hagrid's emotional appointment as the new Care of Magical Creatures teacher. Great for Hagrid, but...
Puts him in the spotlight, makes him vulnerable. Dumbledore has faith, but others might not.
And in divination class with Professor Trelawney, all misty and theatrical, she makes dramatic predictions from tea leaves, including Harry seeing the Grim, again, the worst omen of death.
Trelawney keeps hammering that grim prediction, maintains the tension, reinforces Harry's fear, even if she's all melodrama.
But then Professor McGonagall provides some welcome sanity. She just bluntly dismisses divination as one of the most imprecise branches of magic.
Classic McGonagall. Love that moment. Grounds the fantasy, provides that voice of reason, highlights the different philosophies at Hogwarts, the practical versus the mystical, logic versus fate. It's a tension throughout the book.
Hagrid's first lesson introduces hippogriffs. Proud, beautiful creatures. need respect.
Majestic, but dangerous if disrespected.
And Harry, with his bravery and connection to creatures, steps up. He approaches Buckbeak correctly, bows, earns his trust, and gets to ride him. It's an amazing moment.
Shows Harry's courage, his humility, his intuition with magic. Pure triumph.
But then Malfoy, being Malfoy, ignores Hagrid's explicit warnings, insults Buckbeak, this stupid great bird, and gets slashed across the arm for his arrogance.
Instant karma. But Malfoy being Malfoy, he milks it.
Totally. This incident is pivotal. It kicks off the whole campaign against Buckbeak, puts Hagrid's job in jeopardy, and becomes this whole subplot about injustice, prejudice, and how the system can be manipulated.
Yeah, Malfoy exploiting his injury for political gain through his father shows the darker side of wizarding society. Class bias, corruption in the legal system. It foreshadows the bigger injustices later on.
It's incredible how much is set up in just these opening chapters. So much tension and mystery building.
Definitely lays the groundwork for everything that follows.
And as Harry starts grappling with these dark omens and the shadow of Sirius Black, it really reminds us how layered this story is. If you're enjoying this deep dive and want to keep exploring literature and ideas with us, remember you can find Artificially Literate on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube.
Yeah, please follow us for more. We love digging into these stories.
As we move into the real heart of the book, let's pause on this quote. It perfectly captures that feeling of magic and freedom tied to Harry's ultimate broomstick. He could feel it vibrating and let go. It hung in midair, unsupported, at exactly the right height for him to mount it.
Ah, the firebolt moment. It's not just about a fast broom, is it? It's about that connection, that perfect harmony between wizard and tool.
Yeah, it represents the freedom Harry finds in the magical world. A complete contrast to the Dursleys, the fear about Black. It's him mastering his world.
Finding his place, feeling comfortable in his own skin.
What's fascinating is how Lupin steps up, not just as a teacher, but as a real mentor in defense against the dark arts. His focus is practical.
A welcome change after Lockhart and Quirrell.
Right, and his lesson on boggarts is brilliant, especially helping Neville. Neville's terrified of Snape, so Lupin helps him turn the boggart Snape into Snape wearing his grandmother's clothes, complete with a vulture-topped hat. It's hilarious, but also insightful.
Lupin's genius. He empowers Neville through humor, reframing the fear. It also subtly shows how much Snape negatively affects his students, making Snape look, well, ridiculous for a moment. It's key for Harry learning to face his own fears, too.
And critically, Lupin stops Harry from facing the boggart. He later tells Harry he suspected it would turn into Voldemort, but Dumbledore corrects him later on, right? Harry's fear is actually fear itself, the feeling of terror, of helplessness.
That is such a profound insight. It elevates Harry's struggle. His real enemy isn't just Voldemort. It's that internal state of despair, the memory of his parents' final moments triggered by the Dementors.
Makes his vulnerability psychological.
Exactly. And that's why Lupin's private lessons on the Patronus charm are so important. It's not just about learning a spell. It's about confronting that specific personal fear. The Patronus becomes mastery over his own mind, his emotions.
Those lessons sound intense. Harry really struggles at first to learn Expecto Patronum. He keeps hearing his mother's screams when the Dementor boggart approaches. Finding a happy memory strong enough is hard.
Understandably so. Trauma can overshadow everything. Makes recalling joy incredibly difficult.
He tries thinking about riding a broom, winning the house cup.
But what finally works? The memory of finding out he was a wizard, leaving the Dursleys, finding his identity, his freedom.
That's so telling. His greatest strength isn't just magic. It's his sense of belonging, rejecting oppression, the joy of finding his true home. That's what fuels his Patronus, a real personal victory.
It's about his core self.
Around Christmas, total game changer. Harry gets a firebolt. Anonymously. The best broomstick in the world.
Amazing gift. But also suspicious.
Exactly. Hermione, ever cautious, immediately suspects Sirius Black sent it. Potentially jinxed. She goes straight to Professor McGonagall.
Oh, that causes a massive row, doesn't it?
Huge. McGonagall confiscates the firebolt for testing. Harry and Ron are furious with Hermione, feel totally betrayed. Even Oliver Wood, the Quidditch captain, is horrified the best broom ever is locked away.
It perfectly highlights that clash within the trio. Hermione's logic and rule-following versus Harry and Ron's emotional reaction. Safety versus desire.
McGonagall's decision makes sense given the Black situation, but it's so frustrating for Harry. And Wood's reaction is pure Quidditch obsession.
A bit of comic relief, but also shows how central Quidditch is at Hogwarts.
And during all this, Ron still keeps noticing Hermione's impossible schedule, muttering about how she does it. The book just keeps dropping these little hints.
Keeps that mystery simmering, reinforces how extraordinary Hermione is, her drive, her resourcefulness, makes the time turner reveal much more satisfying later because you've been wondering all year.
Then comes the first Hogsmeade weekend. But Harry can't go. No signed permission slip from the Dursleys.
Yeah.
He's gutted, left behind.
Crushing disappointment for him. Excluded again.
But Fred and George step in. True agents of chaos and friendship. They give him the Marauders map.
Yes, the map. Iconic.
This magical parchment showing all of Hogwarts, secret passages, everyone's location in real time, signed by Messrs. Mooney, Wormtail, Padfoot, and Prongs. This map isn't just a tool, is it? It's like a key to his past.
Oh, it's huge. Embodies rebellion, secret knowledge, friendship. Those nicknames instantly intriguing. Fred and George passing it to Harry connects him to that rule-bending, adventurous spirit of his father's generation. It literally opens up Hogwarts for him.
So Harry uses the map, plus his invisibility cloak, sneaks into Hogsmeade through a secret passage, ends up in Honeyduke's sweet shop.
Best arrival ever.
He meets Ron and Hermione. Hermione's torn, happy to see him, but horrified he broke the rules. Ron's just thrilled with the map, dismisses her worries about Black potentially using the passages.
Classic trio dynamic again. Hermione, the cautious anchor, Ron, the enthusiastic accomplice, Harry caught in the middle wanting the adventure. Her worries aren't wrong, though, given what they think they know about Black. Adventure versus safety.
And it's in Hogsmeade at the Three Broomsticks that everything flips. Harry, under the invisibility cloak, overhears Fudge, McGonagall, Flitwick, Hagrid, Madame Rosmerta talking.
The big reveal.
A real story about Sirius Black. He wasn't the Potter's secret keeper in the end. He persuaded James and Lily to switch to Peter Pettigrew at the last minute, thinking it was clever misdirection.
Oh, the irony.
But Pettigrew, one of their closest friends, he was Voldemort's spy. He betrayed James and Lily. Then Sirius went after Pettigrew.
And Pettigrew faked his own death. Blew up the street, killed all those muggles, framed Sirius. Left only a finger behind.
Exactly. And that's why Sirius was thrown into Azkaban without a trial. 12 years.
Monumental. Completely rewrites everything, Harry, and we thought we knew. Masterful use of dramatic irony, Harry hearing this devastating truth while hidden. Pettigrew, the friend, the rat, revealed as the true villain.
Shifts the whole story. It's not about catching a killer anymore.
It's about clearing an innocent man. It changes Harry's entire understanding of loyalty, betrayal, evil. It's a total gut punch.
The impact on Harry is huge. His supposed enemy is innocent, betrayed just like his parents were. Meanwhile, his firebolt gets returned, cleared, just in time for the Quidditch final against Slytherin.
High-stakes match.
And during the game, Dementors appear on the pitch, trying to get to Harry. But this time, he's ready. He remembers Lupin's lessons, focuses on that powerful, happy memory leaving the Dursleys.
And
He does it. Casts a full corporeal Patronus, a magnificent silver stag. It drives the Dementors away. A massive personal victory over his deepest fear.
wow, that's huge for him. A major turning point. The stag, too, his father's animicus form, that connection.
It's incredibly symbolic, harnessing his emotional strength, memory, love to fight despair, asserting his own power. Gryffindor wins the cup. But in the chaos, his Nimbus 2000 gets destroyed by the Whomping Willow.
Ah, bittersweet. End of an era for that broom, but the start of something much more powerful for Harry himself.
Later, back in the dorm, things get terrifying again. Ron wakes up screaming. Sirius Black is standing over his bed holding a knife.
Chilling image. Seems to confirm he's dangerous.
Right. The fat lady's portrait is slashed too. Black definitely got in. But the key thing they realize later is Black used the Marauders map. And he wasn't after Harry in that room. He was after Scabbers, Ron's rat.
Another twist. The target wasn't Harry, it was the rat. Why? Suddenly, Scabbers is the center of the mystery. Brilliant setup for the final confrontation.
And that confrontation happens in the Shrieking Shack, the most haunted building in Britain, supposedly. Yeah. Harry, Ron, Hermione follow Scabbers, who bites Ron and makes a run for it down towards the Whomping Willow.
Where Crookshanks suddenly helps them.
Yes. Crookshanks knows how to freeze the willow, pressing a knot on the trunk. Turns out he's been helping Sirius all along. He knew Scabbers wasn't just a rat.
Cat and dog working together. Amazing.
Inside the shack's tunnel, they find Sirius, and then Lupin arrives. And the whole truth comes tumbling out. Sirius is innocent. He's an animagus, a big black dog, Padfoot.
Lupin reveals himself too. He's a werewolf Mooney.
And Scabbers. Scabbers isn't a rat. He's Peter Pettigrew. Also an animagus Wormtail, hiding in rat form for 12 years.
Mind. Blown. All the pieces clicking into place. The Marauders revealed James Potter, Prongs the Stag, Sirius, Padfoot, Lupin, Moony, and Pettigrew. Wormtail.
They created the Marauders map together at school. Such rich backstory. Deepens the whole world.
And provides this tragic context. Pettigrew, the seemingly weak one, the follower, he's the betrayer, shows how fear, cowardice can be so destructive, how friendship can be shattered by self-preservation. It's a profound commentary.
The story of why they became animagi is incredible too. To support Lupin during his werewolf transformations, James, Sirius, Peter learned how, illegally, so they could run with him as animals during the full moon. Keep him company, keep him safe.
Such loyalty, such ingenuity, makes Pettigrew's betrayal even more sickening. He owed Lupin, owed James and Sirius everything, but fear of Voldemort corrupted him, led to James and Lily's deaths, a devastating story of friendship destroyed.
And right in the middle of this incredibly tense reveal, Snape bursts in.
Of course Snape shows up, still holding on to that old-school grudge against Sirius and Lupin.
He refuses to believe Sirius is innocent. He's blinded by prejudice, by his history with them. He wants to hand Sirius over to the Dementors.
Shows how personal bias can completely block justice. He can't see past his own resentment.
But then, Harry, Ron, and Hermione together, they disarm Snape. Expelliarmus. All three at once. It's a powerful moment. Standing up to authority, choosing loyalty and justice.
Shows how much they've grown, their conviction, their teamwork, and then they force Pettigrew out of his rat form, capture him. Justice seems possible.
But it's not that simple, is it? On the way back to the castle, the full moon comes out. Lupin hadn't taken his wolfsbane potion.
Oh no, chaos.
Lupin transforms into a full werewolf. In the confusion, Pettigrew grabs Lupin's dropped wand, stuns Ron, transforms back into a rat, and escapes.
So close. Devastating twist. Justice denied again.
Sirius transforms into Padfoot to protect the kids from werewolf Lupin. He drives Lupin off, but then he's injured, exhausted, and the Dementors find him by the lake. Hundreds of them.
Closing in for the kiss. The worst possible fate.
Harry and Hermione watch helplessly from across the lake as the Dementors swarm Sirius. Harry tries to cast a Patronus, but it's too weak. Then he sees a powerful silver Patronus emerge from the other side of the lake, a stag, driving all the Dementors away, saving Sirius.
He thinks it's his father, right?
He does, initially. He's convinced James Potter somehow saved them. But later, he'll realize the truth.
That it was him, from the future. Wow. Powerful themes of legacy, self-reliance. The strength was inside him all along.
Exactly. But in the immediate aftermath, Sirius is captured, Pettigrew's gone, Lupin's missing, Dumbledore arrives. He seems to understand immediately. He tells Harry and Hermione they can save more than one innocent life that night, using Hermione's time turner.
Dumbledore, always seeing the bigger picture, knows about the time turner.
He gives them cryptic instructions. You must not be seen. Puts immense responsibility on them. The danger of changing time.
Highlights Hermione's crucial role again. Her intellect, her tool, saves the day. But the stakes are incredibly high. Paradoxes, consequences.
Then follows that thrilling time travel sequence. They go back 3 hours. They have to relive events unseen. First, they save Buckbeak from execution right under the executioner's nose.
Creating a diversion, letting him fly off just in time. Brilliant.
Then they wait, watch themselves go through the Shrieking Shack ordeal, watch the Dementor attacked by the lake. And Harry realizes no one is coming to save Sirius. His father isn't appearing. He has to do it.
The moment of realization.
He steps out, casts that incredibly powerful stag Patronus himself, driving the Dementors away from his past self. And Sirius, he understands. The savior he saw was him.
Chills. What a moment of self-discovery.
Then they race to the tower where Sirius is being held, waiting for the Dementors. They fly Buckbeak up to the window and rescue Sirius, getting him away just moments before Fudge and Snape arrive.
Breathtaking sequence. Justice served in a way. Even if Sirius has to remain a fugitive, that image of him flying off on Buckbeak, pure freedom, hope against the odds.
In the aftermath, Sirius is free, Buckbeak is safe. But Lupin resigns. Snape accidentally lets slip to the students that Lupin is a werewolf. Prejudice wins that battle.
Tragic for Lupin. Such a good teacher, forced out by intolerance. A somber reminder of the prejudice he faces.
As Lupin leaves, Harry gives him back the Marauders map. Lupin tells Harry how proud James would have been of his mischief with it. A lovely connection.
Heartwarming moment. Connects Harry to his father's spirit.
Dumbledore comforts Harry, explaining about the Patronus. Your father is alive in you, Harry, and shows himself most plainly when you have need of him. How else could you produce that particular Patronus? Prongs wrote again last night.
Beautiful. Love transcends death. Ancestral connection. His heritage is strength, not just a burden. Powerful comfort for Harry.
And finally, the perfect ending touch. Harry gets a letter delivered by a tiny hyperactive owl. It's from Sirius. He's safe. And most importantly, he gives Harry signed permission to visit Hogsmeade.
Ah, that's huge for Harry. More than just permission, it's connection, freedom, the promise of family, of belonging, liberation from the Dursleys' grip, a hopeful end to a dark year.
Absolutely. Now let's shift gears slightly and talk about the film adaptation. Great movie, but like all adaptations, it had to make choices. What key things from the book did it miss, and why do those omissions maybe matter?
Well, the biggest one probably is the depth of the Time Turner subplot. In the book, Hermione's impossible schedule is this running mystery all year. You see her stress, Ron's confusion, it builds and builds. The Time Turner reveal feels earned, deeply part of her character arc.
Right, the film compresses it a lot.
Yeah.
Makes the reveal feel a bit more sudden, maybe less integrated into her year-long struggle.
Exactly. It diminishes that sense of her relentless drive, maybe. Other smaller things, like the big head boy badge Fred and George make for Percy, cut. It's minor, but it adds that Weasley flavor, that touch of rebellion.
The night bus scene, too, while fun in the film, misses some of the book's specific chaos, Stan calling Harry Neville the moving beds. Little details that add texture.
And Harry's Patronus training. The book details multiple intense sessions with Lupin. You really feel Harry's struggle, hear his mother screams with him, see his gradual mastery. The film condenses it, losing some of that hard-won emotional journey.
That gradual build was so important for his character arc. Also, the book mentions the Whomping Willow was planted when Lupin started school, a subtle clue about its purpose for his transformations, tying into the Marauder's loyalty.
Adds so much richness to their backstory, that detail. And the film simplifies the politics around Buckbeak's trial, too. The book really digs into Lucius Malfoy's influence, the corruption, the class prejudice making the injustice feel more systemic.
Yeah, the film makes it feel a bit more like a personal vendetta, less about the flawed system.
Yeah.
And while the Marauder backstory is there, in essence.
The book gives so much more detail on how they became animaja, the ingenuity, the depth of their bond, which makes Pettigrew's betrayal even more impactful. It's glossed over a bit.
And Harry's Patronus realization that he was the savior, not his father's ghost. That internal journey of self-reliance is much clearer, more profound in the book.
Absolutely critical moment of self-discovery. And finally, Snape's grudge against Lupin feels deeper, more rooted in their specific school history in the book. Explains his bitterness more, even if you don't condone it.
So these omissions, while maybe necessary for film pacing, they do trim away some of the richness, the complexity of the characters, the politics, the backstory that the book builds so meticulously.
Makes for a fantastic film, no doubt. But the book offers an even deeper, more rewarding experience, I think.
We've really journeyed through quite a tale here. Mistaken identity, deep friendship, the power of courage. Prisoner of Azkaban isn't just an adventure, is it? It's about facing fears, the complexity of justice, and finding family in unexpected places.
It teaches you that appearances lie, justice is hard-won, and loyalty is everything.
And that final note of hope, of connection for Harry, is perfectly captured in that last quote we mentioned from Sirius's letter. I, Sirius Black, Harry Potter's godfather, hereby give him permission to visit Hogsmeade on weekends.
Such a simple sentence, but means the world to Harry.
It really does.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for diving deep with us today on Artificially Literate. We hope exploring Prisoner of Azkaban has given you some new insights, maybe a fresh perspective on this fantastic story.
Yeah, it's been great discussing it. Don't forget to check out our other deep dives.
Please do. Follow us for more topics like this and stay tuned for our next literary adventure. And always remember, feed your brain, starve your inner fool.